Imagine traveling across the universe for billions of years, only to arrive at absolutely nothing. No stars, no galaxies, no glowing nebula, no black holes, no light, just an endless ocean of darkness so vast that your mind would struggle to understand whether you were moving at all. This is not science fiction. This is real. Hidden within the cosmic web of our universe are enormous regions so empty, so unbelievably vast, that they seem to defy the very idea of what a universe should be. And among them lies the largest void ever discovered, a place so enormous it makes our entire galaxy feel microscopic. It is called the Boötes Void, and it may be one of the strangest places in existence. To understand why this is so terrifying, we first need to understand what the universe is supposed to look like. When most people imagine space, they picture emptiness, a black vacuum scattered with stars. But on the largest scales, the universe is not random at all. It is structured like a colossal cosmic web. Galaxies gather into clusters. Clusters connect into superclusters. These enormous formations stretch across billions of light years, linked by invisible highways of dark matter. It looks almost like the neurons of a giant brain glowing with islands of light across the darkness. Between these filaments are voids, vast regions where almost nothing exists. These empty spaces are not unusual. They are part of how the universe organizes itself. Gravity pulls matter together into dense regions, leaving emptier and emptier gaps behind. But sometimes those gaps become monstrous. In 1981, astronomers discovered something that should not have been there. While mapping distant galaxies in the direction of the constellation Boötes, they noticed a bizarre absence. A huge patch of the sky contained far fewer galaxies than expected. At first, it seemed like an error. Maybe their instruments were wrong. Maybe they had missed something. But as more observations came in, the truth became impossible to ignore. They had found an immense bubble of near-total emptiness. A cosmic hole nearly 330 million light-years across. To understand how absurdly large that is, imagine traveling at the speed of light, the fastest speed possible in nature. Even then, crossing the Boötes Void would take 330 million years. When the first dinosaurs walked Earth, a beam of light entering one side of this void would still not have reached the other side today. And inside this impossible emptiness, there are almost no galaxies. A normal region of that size should contain around 2,000 galaxies. The Boötes Void contains only about 60. It is not completely empty, but compared to the rest of the universe, it is practically nothingness. And this raises a disturbing question. How does something this empty even form? According to our best models of cosmic evolution, matter after the Big Bang should have spread out unevenly, eventually forming the web-like structure we see today. Voids naturally appear as matter clumps elsewhere, but the Boötes Void is too large, too empty, too perfect. Some scientists suggest it formed when smaller voids merged over billions of years, creating one giant region of emptiness. Others believe it may hint at strange fluctuations in the infant universe itself. Quantum ripples from the earliest moments of existence stretched to impossible scales by cosmic inflation. But there are more unsettling ideas. Some have proposed that giant voids like this could be scars left by collisions with other universes. Imagine our universe as a bubble floating in a larger cosmic ocean. surrounded by countless other bubble universes. If two collided in the distant past, they might leave behind massive circular wounds in space-time itself. Could the Boötes Void be one of those scars? There is no proof. But the possibility is enough to send chills through cosmology. Because if true, it would mean our universe is not alone. And the emptiest place we know would actually be evidence of something beyond reality as we understand it. Now, imagine visiting it. You leave the Milky Way behind, and the spiral glow of our galaxy, well, it shrinks into a silver pinwheel. Ahead of you lies the black mouth of the void. At first, it seems normal enough. Space is always dark, after all. But then, the stars begin to disappear. The distant galaxies that once painted the universe with faint light, they vanish one by one. The cosmic background becomes thinner, and the richness of existence just fades into emptiness. Soon, there is almost nothing left to see. No celestial landmarks, no brilliant clusters, no colourful nebulae, only blackness stretching forever in every direction. Inside the Boötes Void, you would experience one of the strangest psychological horrors imaginable. Humans evolved under skies full of stars. Even in deep space, distant galaxies provide orientation, reassurance, context. But here, there would be almost none. You would float in a darkness so complete that the universe itself would feel absent. It would not feel like being in space. It would feel like being outside existence. And perhaps that is what makes voids so unsettling. They remind us that the universe is not built for us. We often think of space as full of wonders. Stars exploding in brilliant supernovas, galaxies colliding in majestic slow motion, black holes bending reality itself. But most of the cosmos is silence. Most of it is cold, empty darkness beyond imagination. The stars are the exception. Existence itself may be the exception. The Boötes Void is a reminder that emptiness is not the absence of reality. It is reality's default state. And yet, even in that darkness, there is mystery. Why are there those 60 galaxies still there? How did they survive in such isolation? What strange histories unfolded inside a region so cut off from the rest of creation? If intelligent life exists there, their night sky would look terrifyingly different from ours. They might see almost no distant galaxies at all. To them, the universe might appear much smaller, lonelier, simpler. They may never discover the cosmic web. Never know they live inside a vast structure stretching across billions of light years. They would grow up believing darkness is all there is. And perhaps they would wonder the same thing we do when we stare into our own night sky. Why is there something instead of nothing? That may be the deepest lesson hidden inside the biggest void in the known universe. We spend our lives surrounded by existence, by light, matter, sound, thought, life itself, and we forget how fragile it all is. The stars above us feel permanent, the galaxies seem infinite, but the universe is mostly empty, mostly silent, mostly dark. And somehow, against impossible odds, here we are. Tiny, conscious beings standing on a small planet at the edge of an ordinary galaxy, surrounded by a universe vast enough to contain oceans of nothingness larger than imagination itself. The Boötes Void is terrifying, not because it contains monsters, but because it does not. It is the closest thing we know to true cosmic nothingness. And when we stare into it, we are forced to confront the strangest truth of all. That in a universe built mostly from emptiness, the fact that anything exists at all may be the greatest mystery ever known.